that we saw earlier, it's 74% of you watching at home at event.brawlstars.com on the app with your predictions. You were saying that there was going to be SK, and I think that's fair enough because, looking at the stats, on paper they are slightly ahead, but that is not the case. NA victorious over EMEA and Teddy. I've got to say, as biased as we may be towards SK, I'm really pleased to see it. This year has been so fantastic to witness the way that NA have come into this competition. NA and LATAM North, of course, they've been doing so well. And this, Bobby's constantly banging on at me about giving another slot to NA and LATAM North. Well, I mean, that's a pretty good start.
I mean, so far, I have been convinced. I have certainly been convinced. What a match that was. What a journey for both of those teams. I mean, SK Gaming, they can leave with their head high. They gave it their all. Tough start for them, and I think that's most of what it was. Just really took a long time for them to find their groove. And when you win your first game, when your opponents have a match point, there is a problem. And they made a great comeback from that. Just couldn't quite go all the way, and sadly we'll be saying goodbye to them. We'll still see them for sure in the Brawl Lounge plenty of times, but yeah, man, it's tough. An entire year of work, right? But Tribe Gaming, what a story, what a journey for them. I think they can be immensely proud of their performance today.
I could not agree more, honestly.
Happening here, we had a lot of delays and some tech difficulties. Sorry, folks, that's part of the game, and when you're up on that stage, that is absolutely a part of the mental aspect of what's going on here. It's hot here. There are your friends yelling in the next room. That's as much of a part of it as anything else. And so you've got to take that whole enchilada and really bite down on it. First, starting off, INTZ destroyed Siege.
Yeah, they really did, and I mean, rightly so, really. I mean, it's one of their best game modes, it's fair to say. But this is the moment the Bunker Rock, beautifully done, as you put it in the castle, surgically done. And that was what we kind of saw, and I did think that towards the end of that last match, it looked very reminiscent of that moment there. But INTZ just kept the composure and were able to make this moment as well for themselves, just going into overtime. Yeah, it was the perfect time for them.
Exactly, and that is something that, casual fans at home might not realize, it wasn't an Darkoom starts us off hot. Rock solid. We had a lot. Listen, I'm gonna talk about what was happening.
Did pretty well around a lot of the situations.
I mean, that's the thought process, right? You got to be able to stay rock solid. Listen, I'm gonna talk about what was happening here. We had a lot of delays and some tech difficulties. Sorry, folks, that's part of the game, and when you're up on that stage, that is absolutely a part of the mental aspect of what's going on here. It's hot here. There are your friends yelling in the next room. That's as much of a part of it as anything else. And so you've got to take that whole enchilada and really bite down on it. First, starting off, INTZ destroyed Siege.
Yeah, they really did, and I mean, rightly so, really. I mean, it's one of their best game modes, it's fair to say. But this is the moment the Bunker Rock, beautifully done, as you put it in the castle, surgically done. And that was what we kind of saw, and I did think that towards the end of that last match, it looked very reminiscent of that moment there. But INTZ just kept the composure and were able to make this moment as well for themselves, just going into overtime. Yeah, it was the perfect time for them.
Exactly, and that is something that, casual fans at home might not realize,
Really one-sided. Queen Nai looking absolutely phenomenal. Trick of China struggling to keep up with this level of play. Once again, they had some moments where things got a little better, where they stood a chance, but for the most part, this is a stomp, and Queen Nai can be very happy about their performance today. Definitely performed at the level they expected to.
And some of these games, especially the more one-sided ones, it's kind of easy to pick a dominant factor or a player who's really just been you know, completely dominating in their individual matchups. But that was happening in every position here for Queen Nai. Menmi and Kenji are both disgusting. They're absolutely disgusting. This, of course, was the cheesy look from this composition, but Kenji is able to win these 1v1s. By the way, without the use of Nita's super, which is, something you maybe expect would need to be done here. If you can win against like a Rico as Nita or whatever, whoever's playing against you on that left-hand side lane, then you're probably not going to lose. It's really hard to overcome that kind of disadvantage. And you see the laughter, the throwing back of their heads. Queen Nai, they have begun their journey in the most comfortable way.
I am that guy.
Ooh, no, all your votes are gone.
Every single one wrong. And it just goes to show, when you're in a different environment, there are so many more factors at play.
I mean, we've been talking about this every monthly final. I always ask you, how do you think this region stacks up? It's an impossible question to answer, really, but I get you to do it anyway because, all of these regions are competing at the same time. They're looking across at each other and going, okay, maybe we can do that better. Maybe we can adapt this strategy and make it our own. Both of these teams went for the Mortis play. Tribe came out of the gates. Look at this. I mean, Dre's just popping off. They came out of the gates confident, looking strong. But Na'Vi, again, it was literally Khabib versus Connor. You know what I mean? Na'Vi just got in control, slowly started to constrict Tribe, start to strip them away of all that bravado, and then strike the finishing blow. Really impressive stuff from Na'Vi. They definitely weren't starstruck at all by this team, and Tribe they didn't have honestly, the composure to carry them through here.
Yeah, I've got to be honest, that for me, if we had to choose a defining moment of when things started to turn in Navi's favor, was the buzz play in Backyard Bowl. It just was. And from that point on, everything just started to click. And I don't know who MVP will be. For me, it is Cube. It has to be Cube. That man.
Aiming go up against Tribe, NA was incredible. BK Rogo, INTZ, though, had some fantastic moments for us too. Firecrow really popping off.
Oh yeah, I think just prior to this moment as well, I was just saying that he was struggling, and then he came back with this, and I instantly said, I've just eaten my words. Firecrow absolutely fantastic in that match, and just gave back the control and the flow in favor of INTZ to go on and take it. They were playing phenomenal, but there was a couple of moments where they were struggling, and that was a big pop-off moment for him, no doubt about it.
I mean, Firecrow hyped up, though, I think is one of like the nastiest sharpshooters, especially in Brazil. The guy is like a young prodigy, right? So this is definitely